Steve didn't know anything about fucking anything. But you want to know the why. All your lives have been spent on the why. And if you look for enough why the why information is, you'll figure out a way not to do it. If a woman knew what it took to have a baby, and the pain, all the bullshit, because when they're talking about their mother's pain, that's a statistic. When you're talking about your pain of birth, that's 100% you. If men had to have babies, we'd have about 40 million people on the planet instead of 7.5 billion. We need to lose people on the planet. I'm not worried about more food. I'm not worried about fucking more clean water. I'm not worried. How do we have less people? This problem is easily solved. You know, food, yada, yada. We just got too many fucking people. Now, money's not everything. It just isn't. But it's the only thing anybody keeps track of. And for those of you that really want to change the world, I'm not one of those individuals. I'm living vicariously through you. You can. You know, as we talked about, find something that changes a billion lives. And you'll not only change the world, but you're a billionaire. Mark Zuckerberg is a classic example. I'm not sure that anybody in recent years has changed more lives than Mr. Zuckerberg. But if you don't go out there fucking smoking and leave everything else aside, the odds are you're not. And as I've told you many times now, and then you'll go on some social media and QLA didn't work, and really every one of those negatives, QLA doesn't work, it's because it didn't work for them, it's because they didn't put forth the effort, or they gave up. And you never know for sure, although I've got a pretty good idea. But when I used to tell people in the beginning, based on the tests, which I already told you about, it became more of a self-fulfilling thing. In other words, even though I may have been wrong about 2 people or 4 people, they became not effective because I told them they were going to be effective. So we don't tell them that anymore, because every once in a while I get surprised. Not too often, but every once in a while I get surprised. And of course, it's refreshing to me when I am surprised. Not refreshing to me because I'm wrong, because I don't like being wrong. I'm no different than the President Trump. I don't like losing. But I am wrong once in a while. If you're just using commercial, this is not seller finance. There's the loan for the deal. Okay? Then there's a loan for working capital. And the bank will try to make that working capital loan part of the deal, but you don't. You change banks. And the third loan is for what they call in this country an overdraft, what they call in the U.S. a line of credit. Everything that we do, we're going to do 3 times. So you multiply everything I say by 3. And you can fund all this other shit that we want to do, paying bonuses, etc., out of working capital and your line of credit. So well, fine. She found a way. She calls it sweeping. That's kindergarten math. Getting money out of the deal is the least of your problems. Doing the deal first. But see, you don't believe it. Hence, ergo, it won't happen. I believed it, i.e., and it happened 15 months later for me. 15 months, that's it. When I said that I want to live in a castle on an island with a moat, yada, 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 it was the spring of 1983, and I moved in September 1984. Not a moat, but I mean, close enough for fucking government work. And I went back and looked at my notes, some of the success stories, some of the horror stories that we've had over the years, and the little dipshits that believed it happened. It didn't happen in 15 months because they're not me. But it happened in 2-3 years. Don't compare your results against mine. You're going to lose. I hope you don't, but you're going to lose because we've never had anybody that's fast to do shit like I did. We've got a lot of successes And I'm not even 400 on my list of rich kids that I've produced. And when I started, the $400 million man, as they used to call me, I mean, the kids started passing that like I was the tortoise and they were the hares, and creating the wealth that they've created in the last 27 and a half years. They've just gone fucking nuts. And I couldn't be prouder than if a newborn babe. In fact, in many instances, I'm more proud of that than the newborn babes I've produced. But if you don't believe it, guys and gals, it won't happen.